Hi everyone, my name is Mark Nejma. I'm from newsweed.com and I have a few comments and thoughts about what's happening today. Today is the 31st of August, last day of the month, and BNGO seems to be performing pretty well. But I had some thoughts about uh, what I think is really important. I think the next couple of months, when we're taking a look at the Theranos trial, it's going to have a drastic effect on the biotech investments that come out of Silicon Valley, particularly those that have tests that uh, involve blood tests that then can predict uh, structural variations and so on. Because if you look at the Theranos case, it's about this really sharp person that kind of deceived people, saying that the technology could do a lot more. Now, I don't think that's the case with BNGO, not at all, because I've looked for fraud the whole time. But I do think it might have an effect on, how other investors look at the technology that's coming out of Southern California and Northern California, out of Silicon Valley. So I think it's interesting for us to really think about what this Theranos uh, trial will have, what effect it will have on the stock price. Um, I heard that BNGO is planning on lowering its cost for each consumable to $100. I kind of think it's premature to make those comments. Sure, if there's 10,000 sapphires out there and the volume increases in the use of consumables, I'm sure the price can come down. But right now, it looks like we should just get a better understanding from the company how many sapphires are getting out there. I mean, their target of 151 seems to me very low. Um, and I hope that with all the presentations that they're doing and with the growth of the company and the people that they're hiring, that they go far beyond the 150 units that they said they have installed by the end of the year. Now, it's good the company's not boasting and say, oh, we'll have thousands of machines this year. I think that's good because then we're not going to head into that Theranos type situation where the company is saying things that aren't going to come true. Another real positive thing is that the information that comes out is from their customers, doctors, people that have really uh, used the equipment and found structural variations in different diseases. I can't go into detail on what they found, but I understand it's been substantial in terms of seeking problems that diseases give. Now, with the Theranos case, it seems like there were so many big, famous, powerful people that were involved, and that's why I think that people are really going to step back and take a look. Now, it seems as if these powerful people uh, don't want to press the Theranos company for answers on any potential fraud. Instead, it looks like they're turning the case to look as if, wow, this woman, young woman, attractive, was really being taken advantage by this not so good looking Pakistani guy, Balwani, and that's why she said what she did. I mean, coming off um, of all the press that this woman had, Elizabeth, uh, saying how she's a powerful woman and how she rises to the top, and strong women, made of iron, can break through the glass ceilings. I think it's kind of a hard sell. But what I've seen is the media playing up to that. Yahoo has a documentary out which I watched today. I've watched other documentaries, but you know, on and on in the stock market, you see fraud, and you see and wonder how they can get away with it. Um, I'm going to mention Ocugen. Ocugen, one day stock is 29 cents. They're not in the COVID vaccine business. The next day, they're in the COVID vaccine business. Stock price goes from 29 cents all the way up to $18. and is now down at 750 a share. That's a lot of people that kind of got pushed out of the musical chairs up at the top, and it's a company that I was invested in, and I can't understand how they are in the eye business, supposedly genetic cures for the eyes, and the next day they're in the COVID business. And I don't understand how the stock price stays up that high when they haven't gotten any approvals. I only bring that company up because my inexperience in the markets, and again, this is not financial advice. I am not giving you advice that Oxygen is a fraud, though I believe it is. I'm not giving you advice that BNGO is a great investment, although up to right now I think it is. All I'm saying is that these are my thoughts. I mean, how do these companies get away with some of the things that they've done in terms of saying they can do something and then later, oh no, we can't? Theranos was an extreme example, um, but I think it's a sample of how far people will go, as they say, fake it until you make it. And when I see some of the stocks I've invested in, IBIO, OCGN, TRNX, um, where the stock price goes up and then it comes crashing down because it was just hype and pump. It scares me. Now I have to say, I have not seen that with BNGO. If you guys have seen pumping for BNGO, if you've seen misinformation coming out on BNGO, please tell me. Now, I can only tell you what I see. It seems as if currently right now, the stock is kind of like, kind of like floating. I'm not sure if it's positive or if it's negative. Um, and I hold a lot of shares, as many of you might know. I own 1 million shares of BNGO. Got in low, luckily. But, I do have a concern, and I want to make sure that everything the company says they can do, uh, or deliveries, how many deliveries they're going to make, um, the people that they're hiring, that everything is on the up and up. I have not seen anything fraudulent. I've seen people make comments on different boards saying that this guy is a fake or a fraud or whatever. I'd like to know. I think you know, people should call me and say, hey, Mark, this is why I don't like BNGO. I'd really like to know that. So my number is 215-219-7699. I'm always available to answer the phone. Other than that, I really can't see anything that's happening. I was a little pointed that we didn't get any big news out of Europe at the EHG, I think it was called, the European Health Genomics Conference. I thought that we would have a lot more information that would be a catalyst. I did like seeing the stock go from 570 to 594, 595 today, but then it did come back down to 583, which is where I think it is after hours right now. So heads up on the Theranos trial. I think it could have an effect on BNGO and other testing companies that have a machine like Theranos had the Edison machine and this blood that you can find so many diseases from. So even though it really has nothing to do with BNGO, there may be a little bit kickback or excitement, or it may be positive that BNGO looks good because they have these results and factual information coming from their customers. That's pretty much all I had to say, but it did make me think. I'm like, is this going to really affect BNGO in a bad way? What are they going to start talking about with biotechs and venture capitalists? Either way, it's going to be a fascinating 3 months while we watch this defense spin a web and the prosecutor building their case. Uh, let's really see if if the prosecutors are really looking out for investors and trying to prevent this in the future. Anyway, thank you very much. This is not financial advice. This is just a guy that has invested in a company and is holding on for his dear life with the stock. I appreciate all of you, and I hope that you have a nice evening. God bless, and thanks for listening. You can find this video on Newsweed or, of course, YouTube. Have a great day. Please, if you would, uh, join our channel, newsweed.com, and stop by and see some other people like Auspicious Descent, who we've given the podium to, so to speak, because this young man, this bright young man, is going to run for mayor in a fairly big town uh, in Missouri. So, thanks again. Bye-bye.